Overpopulation is when there are too many people that live in a certain area. Overpopulation is affecting many people and countries today. The world population growth rises by 200,000 people every day. Overpopulation is a huge problem and affects many people and countries and our basic resources throughout the world. According to the Institution of Population Studies, our basic but most important resources are being threatened. The amount of food is becoming limited and a number of people are hungry and dying of malnutrition every day. Our water supply is decreasing and many people don't have sufficient water for consumption. Air as well is becoming affected because of overpopulation. Asthma counts have risen over the past 20 years. The counts have risen mostly in the areas with factories and industries, but underdeveloped countries are at risk as well. Therefore, a number of countries and people are becoming stressed due to all the problems occurring because of overpopulation. There are a plethora of reasons overpopulation is a big problem all over the world. As stated by Los Angeles Times, unemployment, paucity of funds for education, and healthcare are becoming issues because of overpopulation. Countries and people are stressed, but shouldn't be. They should be able to live comfortably without having to worry about these issues. Land is also becoming scarce because of overpopulation, but is very much needed. Based on my research, the Food and Agriculture Organization estimates that by 2020, 135 million people will lose their land to soil degradation. New Nation has also stated that there isn't much land or if any at all for people to buy. If people aren't able to buy land, they aren't able to build their houses or farm. And if farmers can't farm, they can't plant crops. And if they can't plant crops, they can't feed people. And people are dying of malnutrition. People need to be able to farm and build houses to survive. Overpopulation is a big problem and burden on many countries. There are many types of population control, such as the one-child policy that China uses, and it has worked for them. It has saved many of their resources. All countries should have population control policies to limit people in countries from becoming stressed and not having enough resources to survive.
My opponent has said that we have too many people on Earth, but we disagree, saying that we do not, and that the growth is, in fact, a success. This, then, is not a problem, but an achievement. Julian Simon observes that while it took thousands of years for human life expectancy in the developed world to increase from 20 years to the high 20s, it took just 2 centuries for them to increase it to 75 years. Most of this increase took place in the 20th century, and Simon considers this as the greatest achievement in all of human history. Therefore, this human growth is an achievement and should be treated as such. Because if people honestly are running out of resources and land, and they're getting stressed, just consider the positive side. I mean, we're surviving to greater and greater numbers of years as time goes on.
Overpopulation is a growing population. Overpopulation is good. A growing population is not the problem, as reported by Philip Finn. Saving the sickly or dying people is what's hurting us. As twisted as that seems, breakthroughs in medical science have allowed us to decrease the infant mortality rate and increase life expectancy. In the words of Peter Adamson, it's not like people suddenly started bleeding like rabbits. It's just that they stopped dying like flies. This is relevant because, again, advancements in science have kept more people alive. Thus, the amount of people is not the issue. China's one-child policy is no good, according to the Society of the Protection of Unborn Children. While the policy is wrong, the West is doing little to protect the unborn. With China's large population, they are not helping their own culture, and we are not helping either. We are neither part of the problem or solution. If the government were to lend a hand in stopping or at least regulating China's policy, that would give us a better idea for control in the future. The cost of minerals and other raw materials indicate that we are not running short of these resources. Environmentalists made a bet to monitor the prices of a period of 10 years. All the resources that was chosen, chromium, copper, nickel, tin, and tungsten, and others became cheaper. Even statistics to show how known copper reserves grew from 91 million tons in 1950 to 555 million tons in the early 1980s.
price of commodity is an indicator of its scarcity or availability. Overpopulation is not causing a decrease in the minerals because the prices are going down. Overpopulation is going to end up causing any problem.
My opponents may say there is no way that anytime soon we will run into troubles with overpopulation. But we have to disagree because we have to think about the future and about what is going to happen in the world. Because by 2050, the world population will possibly be 9.2 billion. The world's population is growing and growing very fast. The need for population control is becoming more needed as the time goes on. Therefore, we think that we should have population control policies throughout the world.